Posting afterwards, quote, "I had a productive meeting with President Trump this afternoon. I'm looking forward to building more housing in New York City." I want to talk about that with Elizabeth Pipko, former GOP national spokeswoman, and Brianna Lyman, elections correspondent for The Federalist. Ladies, hello to both of you. Mums was the word on this, by the way. White House said nothing. Mamdani's office said nothing.
I didn't know anything about it.
The bromance continues, all right? Afterwards, here we go. Mamdani posts this. New York City is facing a generational affordability challenge. I appreciated the opportunity to speak directly with President Trump about building more housing in any single project that our city has seen since 1973. The project to the side, what's going on with these two guys?
Well, first, let me just say that I think convincing President Trump to get on board with building is probably the easiest thing you could do, whether you're a communist or a Republican or Democrat, right? This is a guy whose bread and butter is not only building, but building New York City. And President Trump has been laser focused on the affordability issue, on the housing shortage. So you put all those things together, and this is a perfect recipe to work with Mamdani. That being said, Mamdani is someone who knows how to play the game with Trump, and I don't necessarily think that's a perfectly great idea because he is charismatic, he's a slick talker, but he's a communist, and his policies will destroy New York City.
What do you say he's a communist? Nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
But I like him.
Right. And that becomes problematic because at the end of the day, his policies will ultimately destroy New York City. So I think any Republican or Democrat should be cautious with Mamdani about what the federal government is going to get involved in, and are we going to bail out a communist experiment gone wrong?
What I kind of loved about this, if we can put the picture up, Elizabeth, are these props that Mamdani brought, these newspaper clippings to show, look, this could be really good for you. But this is kind of a message to other Democrats out there who make Trump out to be this big boogeyman that, look, you can actually work with him. He wants to work with you.
Yeah, I like that you said that. I think that's the most important part. People say Donald Trump loves a winner, and he does, but why does he like a winner? Because that means the American people picked this man, right? He respects the people of New York. As Brianna said, he loves New York. He built New York. But if this is the people that, this is the person that the people of New York City voted for, this is who they picked to represent them, even though he's a communist, he's going to respect their choice, work with them. Something Democrats cannot do with their own friends, their own family members, if they voted against, the way that they would have wanted.
She works there, and she can't figure it out, can you?
No.
What's going on?
It's amazing, though. Here, I will say, I think that Donald Trump's love for New York trumps everything, and I think he'd rather be in the conversation than this guy leaving him out of everything,
So a lot of Democrats are now being asked about whether or not Mamdani is the face of the party and whether or not they want that. Here's the head of the DCC talking about Iowa, not caring about New York.
What are you advising members to do and message regarding, this mayor of New York who Republicans have said they want to try to make him the face of the Democratic Party in these midterms, who calls himself a Democratic socialist?
So let's be clear, when we look at the map in the House, we're running in districts all across the country, and the people, for example, of Iowa aren't worried about who the mayor of New York is. They are worried about who's going to represent them and who is going to stand up for them.
In the meantime, ladies, Bernie and AOC are loving it. Check it out.
Do you think Zohran Mamdani is a leader in the Democratic Party now?
Well, of course he is. He's going to be the mayor of the city of New York. He made it clear what is true in every state in this country is that the richest people in America are becoming phenomenally richer.
I think that people across this country are really hungry for public servants that are going to put them first. So I think people are receptive to a new path and a new story, and I think Zohran Mamdani really spoke to that and organized for it.
All right, Brianna, set you up. Go for it.
I think Republicans and Democrats have a Mamdani problem, right? On the one hand, you have Democrats like the DCC chair who is saying, we don't want Mamdani to be thought of as the face of the Democratic Party because his progressive brand is so politically toxic and alienating, right? But on the other hand, you have Republicans. We knew as far back as July, they were saying if he wins, we're going to run on him in 2028. Kind of hard to do when he has these great photo ops with the president, when the president is talking about him during the State of the Union, saying he's a charming guy. So I don't think Republicans are going to be able to use Mamdani for the midterms, and I don't know if Democrats, even if Republicans do, are going to suffer the same fate.
Liz, I'm going to wrap it up.
I think